No gimmicks, no pyramid schemes, no tricks. Here is the game-changing truth of how you can make $1,000 selling your art. Ladies and gentlemen, guess where we are? Jerry's Artarama. Yes, if you've never been, you're about to go with me now. All right, here we go into Jerry's. Look at all the paint, friends. So, how did we get to this point here in Jerry's? Well, it started about 4 years ago where I had a great opportunity to sit down with Marcy from Mixed Media Girl. She was taking me under her wing as a budding artist and getting into teaching classes. And little did I know that one 5-minute conversation would eventually change the way I approach selling my art. Now, in those brief moments, I absorbed priceless lessons, but I wasn't able to apply it. So it sat in my subconscious, it sat in my mind in a parking lot, if you will. So, what is it that I learned? I learned the importance of understanding your demographics and how your geographical location plays a crucial role in the selling of your art. Fast forward, I met another artist who I had known for some time who had a really wonderful opportunity to be featured in a pretty nice art gallery with lots of foot traffic as a budding new artist. And we were talking as she was completely mind blown. Her mind was blown. My mind was blown in that she began selling several pieces of art for several $100s, all based off one color. So, in a sense, kind of like a monochromatic idea. With that, I was fascinated by her story, and I was just like, how is she doing this? Why is it working so well? And this conversation, this experience stuck with me, fueling my curiosity, but once again, back into my subconscious parking lot. So, fast forward to today, hundreds of art pieces later, hundreds of YouTube videos later. I've been exploring something that has completely reshaped how I think about art sales, and that is color psychology. So, I had an urge to take a course in color psychology, and that's exactly what I did. I paid my little money and self-paced course, did everything I needed to do. And here is the epiphany. It all makes sense now. The connection between the conversation and lessons from Marcy, the artist who had mastered, to some degree, monochromaticalism, whatever, and how color influences emotion and buying decisions, it all came together in a powerful way. So this painting actually is a part of the story, which is how you're getting the story time, and all of the pieces just fell together for this video to happen. If you're familiar, I've been doing this minimalism series, and it just features art that is made simple, maybe one or two colors, or a very simple technique. It is embracing minimalism, negative space, and showing you that it doesn't take all the big tricks. You can take a simple technique and make it something very beautiful. And so, with that, I have been doing a lot of different pours here, and this video right here kind of sparked lots of conversation and a really big commission. So A couple of weeks ago, I posted on Facebook to my viewers and subscribers that I was just feeling a little bit down with the video series because it just wasn't yielding a lot of views. And I thought it was a great series. I accept, you putting yourself out there on YouTube and no one is obligated to watch your videos. But I think it's also really good just to be transparent, and that is what I was being, just honest and transparent about my thoughts. And while the comments went haywire, lots of positive feedback and encouragement, baby, the views may have not done well, but the email was popping. And let me tell y'all, my commissions in the last 6 months has been dry. I have had one commission in the last 6 months. Now I've sold some art, but it's just been a dry season for me. And you go through ebbs and flows of any business. That's just life. But with that, I have Patreons and YouTube members who pay every month to get exclusive content and things of that nature. And one of my Patreons made a visit to her dentist. And her dentist is a big advocate of the arts and really enjoys art. And so my Patreon, in my mind, sold me a huge deal. Um, Showing my dentist my artwork and just saying, this was a really cool YouTube artist. And so the receptionist reached out to me via email explaining that the dentist was looking to get some artwork and was just interested in me by my Patreon. And so I was just over the moon ecstatic. I don't think this would have happened without the connection of my Patreon. Studies that I learned from my class show that blue is the most universally favorite color. This trend has persisted since the 1940s, and a 2015 study confirmed that blue is the most popular color across all countries, gender, age, races, and political affiliations. The ecological valence theory explains preference and how it links to color association. So when we think about blue, blue is such a calming and inviting color. Now, let's make the connection. What color is the sky traditionally? What color is water? When we think about gorgeous ocean water, we think of the pretty blues. And so blue has a very positive yet calming association with it. And I don't know about y'all, but in my life, I want to be peace. I want there to be calmness. I want there to be, that's things that I want and desire. And I would think that most people desire this. Now, get this. Navy or dark blue, or in this case, Payne's gray, which is what you're looking at here, is associated with authority, professionalism, a sense of calm. It also evokes feelings of trust and reliability. So, all of those things, our dentist wants us to be calm. They also want to evoke a feeling of trust and professionalism. So, y'all, all the bells and whistles are going off in my head, making these connections. Even so much as the conversation that I had years ago with Marcy about your geographical location, because a lot of art tends to play on the area that you are in. For example, when I went to New Mexico, I saw so many art galleries and pieces all over the place, and it was all centered around the color palette of New Mexico, which is gorgeous browns and rust and reds and purples. They have these gorgeous purple sunsets in New Mexico. And just think, when you go to the beach, Miami, Myrtle Beach, any beachy area, what do you see? You see all this artwork around beaches and water. When you go to the mountains, the same thing. You see lots of browns and timbers and deep greens associated with the mountains. So I'm telling y'all, it was just like, wow, 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 wow. When you look at the world, water is everywhere, Blue is everywhere because of the sky and the water. That's why blue is so popular. All of those associations, and they're positive, and so we like the color blue. And gold promotes, of course, success and wealth, but it also evokes a spirit of welcome and being approachable. So think about gold and blue together. It's just one of those color combinations that just naturally goes together, and the psychology behind it makes a whole lot of sense. So here I am with this art that just happens to be dark blue and gold. And so I'm like, this is the perfect color in a dentist office. So my Patreons have access to my early videos and pictures. So some of this stuff was already out. And once I emailed the receptionist back, and we had some other conversations, just keeping it short for the sake of storytelling, they fell in love with this technique, the look of it, and this is how I ended up in Jerry's. Y'all, their canvas selection was crazy. And so after we had conversations, we decided on two 30 by 30s, and we are going to use simply navy blue. I'm going to do a monochromatic theme. And so both pieces are kind of inspired from the artwork that I sent them, this being one of the pieces. I talked with him and I told him I wanted to share this story. And so, keeping names out of it, we settled upon $700 for the commission. And, before we even got to the price, when I showed them this artwork, I used those keywords revolving navy and gold. So I talked about this piece evokes spiritual calmness, professionalism, because I wanted to sell this work, and this is what these colors evoke. So, I was putting a little of my color psychology, on them, with purpose and efforts to sell the piece, and here we are. Many of you all have already seen the Bordeaux Red series of this, and so just showing you a picture of one that I just recently commissioned, and a smaller one, but the customer really liked it. So that's $180, and then I sold another 12 by 12 for $150, bringing me to a whopping total of $1,030. Two Payne's Gray pieces, one Bordeaux Red piece, and I just received another inquiry for another Payne's Gray piece and a brown piece using this same technique. So the story is over because I'm tired. I've done a lot of talking, but I do want to recap. So right at the end, I'm going to recap just some things to put into perspective for you and helping you sell your art. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is not a get rich quick scheme, and I'm not guaranteeing that everybody's gonna have this bit of success, but in that, being transparent, y'all heard, I'm not selling art every day. And if anything, if this can just encourage someone out there to give them some things to think about when they make their art and to help them sell that first piece or to sell another piece, I feel like the video was truly worth it. For me, selling this many commissions in and it's a 2 or 3 week period is actually a lot. And so I think that there is some significance to color theory, psychology, painting simple, and minimalism. And here are the 3 tips to summarize and help you make your next $1,000 in art. You have to put yourself out there. Connecting with your audience is essential. Artist group and social media is very helpful, but everyone in those spaces share the same goal: selling art. Are you truly standing out? Seek out more art shows and ways to connect with others in person. Experience, even in failure, is your greatest teacher. Every challenge makes you stronger and wiser. Get to know your demographic. Understanding your audience is the key to choosing the right colors that resonate with them. Pay attention to the world around you, to the environment that you're selling in, and let it inspire your palette. If you're unsure, remember, make it blue. Blue is the world's favorite color and it always connects. And the final tip is to tell a story. Bring your artwork to life. When someone connects with you, their chances of buying your art goes way up. And this ties directly to tip number 1. Building that personal connection is key.